Hi Gemini, welcome to your harsh truth reading for Skipping the intro. Been visiting for a while, you know the deal. Shuffled off camera, but a little bit more. Don't do it on camera because of the cloth and the sound. For a love, romantic love, it's intended for that. It might resonate otherwise in other areas of your life, friendship, family, passion project, or work. Alright, so we've got a new idea or new path, new adventure, you're thinking about it. Might even be communication on it. Alright, Gemini. This is a general reading. It will get specific where it makes sense to clarify. Check the moon, rising, and Venus for a more well-rounded reading. So, I think this is about you wanting someone to come back and say they're sorry. Wanting someone to come up and own up to what happened. You don't want it to be where they're so inflexible and so about control and just untrustworthy. We got Libra here, Aries. I'm just saying, this is kind of heavy duty. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 heavies here, Gemini, okay? This is the Wheel of Fortune, but this is Libra, Aries. This is Taurus or Aries. Here. See what this is here. Okay, so anyway, sorry. So what you don't want to happen, or I think what you want to happen, what you want to be true is that there has been, in fact, an injustice, and maybe even someone will come back and recompense for that. What you don't want to be true is that they're going to be so stubborn and rigid and proud and inflexible that it's not going to happen and the relationship's going to lose. And what is true, actually, is that it's still up in the air what's going to happen because, this was definitely a fated relationship. It was destiny, it was karma, but whatever does happen, it's going to be for the best. It's almost like round and round the wheel goes, where it stops nobody knows. However, around the corner, all good things await. So, okay, I think this is a single solitary person taking care of theirs and their own, very much like the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who might still be working, they're solitary and they don't mind being solitary. Typically, it's by choice, and they've got a clean backyard, clean house, clean. Everything is working and in functioning order, and they're very proud of that. They're able to take care of themselves. This could be man or woman. It's over here, so you don't want that to happen. And I think this is about the solitary nature of it. I think that you don't want it to be solitary. You want it to be with somebody where you can create with them. There's abundance with them. This person is fine by themselves. I don't think you want the by themselves part. I think you want this person is fine, but they're connected to that somebody, and they can create the divine feminine. This is male or female, but there's that wonderful creative energy and fertility and connection to nature and just adventure, and it's like the really bright future awaits, and you get to create all of it, right? And then we get to this, and you can't see any of that, sorry, which is what will happen. And this sometimes can speak to a third-party situation in a relationship, an affair, or this is stifled creativity. Okay, so let's clarify. Gemini, kind of like you're at the crossroads, or maybe you've been through, because this is the budding energy. This is like a muse. This is sort of the inception of the thinking process for the adventure, for the affair, for the passion, for the, just that innovation, that drive. This is the beginning energy of that. It could also be a child. It could also be somebody that, if it were more negative energy, it could be that you might be thinking that, oh, this relationship is just not going to work because it's not going to go anywhere. It's not very stable. It's just kind of one of those crushes. It's not really a long-term type of relationship. It could be that. Okay. I think it is about someone being stubborn and foolish and not wanting things unless it has to be their idea. Whatever kind of new adventure, new beginning, whatever kind of choices, whatever, it has to be their idea. This is someone, if you can imagine this, stubborn and reckless at the same time, and that comes from pride. Someone being kind of inflexible and controlling, and just that and at the same time untrustworthy, right? And they don't want anything unless they get to decide what it is. They don't want anything new. They don't want anything out of the ordinary. They want to be the one to decide. And typically it's doing something for something's sake, and the more reckless, the better. And there's pride and stubborn and selfishness involved. It's also not, it's just stagnant. This is the type of person that will dig their feet in the sand. In this case, and I'm not saying the Aries are like that, I'm just saying this energy right here, it's just because they can. They dig their feet in the sand and just know because they can, right? Kind of immature. So that's what you don't want to happen, is that they're going to act that way. What you're hoping will be true is that somebody realizes very quickly what they've done was not right, and they will apologize. However, this worries me, because this typically is right off the bat, like, oh, narcissist. It's not always, it doesn't have to be. But we've got a wrong being done, and you're hoping for that swift action where they realize it and they make amends. That they turn it around, and they're not going to be a jerk about it. They're not going to be this. They're not going to be. You want it to be. I think I got it. Hold on a minute. All right. Don't get mad. I'm going to say it. I think you want this to be about an isolated incident of infidelity and them being a jerk that just kind of happened out of the blue, but it was a one-time thing, and they're sorry, and they just couldn't help themselves, and they're just a cheater and a jerk, right? I think what you don't want is for them to it to be a pattern for them, and this is like a lifelong, like this is just how they are. Like, you're kind of hoping that they're open to change, that it was a one-off, that they can create anew, that they're not going to be that person, that they have all that it takes to be that loyal, good person, you know, faithful in a relationship, but that this was just like a dalliance and a slip-up and an affair. I think that for whatever reason, it's a lot easier to swallow than someone, sitting here saying for whatever reason. I know what the reason is. This is a lot easier. That guy is just a jerk, this and that, and it didn't work out. Or that girl is just a real, you know, jerk, and they did this and whatnot, and didn't work out. Than to accept that there is absolutely no negotiating with somebody like that they're always like that. And you would typically think that this is somebody that belongs over here in this camp. But I think in this instance, this is about basically somebody cheated in the relationship. It happened really fast and sudden, and it was out of character. This person is normally really dynamic and can do and can create, can manifest, is trustworthy, is a visionary, is a leader, action-oriented, all that, and does it all. And this was just a one-time slip-up. Do you see what I'm saying? So I mean, that's why I'm taking this, because it doesn't resonate. It just doesn't feel right the other way. This over here feels like, oh gosh, this person really is. It's not just a one-time slip-up. You're hoping for that. I'm sorry, but this is like, nope, that's pretty much the way they are. They are inflexible and very controlling and even reckless, and they have very little regard for everybody else. They're very selfish. So it's not just a character flaw, a one-off over here where they kind of just slipped up and they'll say they're sorry. Nope. You don't want this to be true. I'm not saying they are. Sorry, I should back up. You don't want that to be true. That's the whole point. Good God, can I spend much more time on that? All right, so what is true is that it's most likely the cycle has completed with this person, okay? And what you want to happen, all right, I think this is about you going solo. Because I think this is about, all right, I don't want to just be this person over here. Both of these are self-sufficient and able to take care of themselves. The difference is this one is passionate, creative, abundant, and is optimistic for the future. This one is just content and settled and doesn't have that creative drive. They're happy the way things are, and they're just going to kind of continue the status quo, and it's a very stable, this is very creative, okay? So I think that you're not wanting the stable, you're wanting to get back out there because there has been this break and this disconnection, and you're feeling like you've had to kind of go to the dark side to maybe deal with the fallout of this, okay? And when I say the dark side, I don't mean literal dark side. I'm just saying, like, this is the energy that you want to embody, and yet this right here, sometimes this is emotional, sometimes this is really kind of cutthroat. You're kind of all over the place, and you really want to embody this creative, nurturing, stable, optimistic energy. It's like you want to bounce back after the shenanigans up here, okay? Which brings us to, well, we've already talked about that. You don't want that. You don't want it to be just that. This is fine. You want more. Because I think when you're with an energy like this, they take a lot from you and a lot out of you. And you're sort of like, well, I'm going to bounce back even better because, you know, you don't want to just, well, I'll be okay over here. It's like, no, you took something from me. I'm going to get it back and I'm going to be better. Saying, okay, yep. All right. Okay. So, Gemini, Do you see this? You see this. Okay, this is about a third-party situation with a soulmate connection that leads to, or this is about a third-party situation that broke up a happy home, and if either it was a soulmate connection that you think it was, or this person thinks it's a soulmate connection with the person they had the affair with. Either way, there is a connection here. And it was enough for the person to continue to risk either the person to risk the relationship and cheat because they felt that strong connection with that person, or you know all this and that's why you're wanting to come back strong, is because you do feel like, you know what, I really love that person. We were engaged, or I thought we were meant for each other. Excuse me. And when I come back, I don't want it to just be, I'm stable, I'm content. I want it to be like, I am going to be the next, CEO of this company, and I've got this, and I bought land, and I'm going to build my own house. I mean, you just could be man or woman here. It's just redemption, I guess. I'm not going to clarify these two. I think they speak for themselves. So yeah, Gemini, I appreciate the patience, you sticking around, because this was hard for me to suss out. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, one-off character flaw versus somebody that's intrinsically selfish in that way and is not willing to. They're just stubborn because they can be, and it's their way or the highway, and they're reckless. And I think that's what this is embodying here. That you probably woken up to the fact that somebody's quite. This kind of love at this level is all they're capable of. Instead of it being like, okay, we'll work through it, we're one-off. Nope, that's who they are, and you don't want that to be true. And what is true is that the cycle has ended. However, around the corner, what awaits is this creative energy right here. Okay? Because you're going to go through this whole, you're going to process all of this as far as the breakup and the third-party situation, or you already are, and you're going to come out stronger for it. It's well, you'll be okay. It's like, go ahead and go through that. It's going to just completely be crap for 6 months, but you'll be better for it. Oh yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks. Looking forward to that. Sign me up. But honestly, in that wonderful creative energy, I feel like for some of you, why not, right? I feel like this has already happened, and you know it, and you're just showing up for confirmation, and you're really working on embodying this right here. Transform. Yep. This gets transmuted to this. Transformed into that. That's about, well, Aunt Helen taking chicken salad taking chicken-ish and turning it into chicken salad. Transform and transmute anything negative that has happened to you into making it work for you. And it usually is about being resilient, Joke around with the family like, well, we're cockroaches. We'll be around after any kind of war because we've learned how to survive, There's that resiliency factor. Probably one of the benefits of going through hell, Still sticky. I want this one right here. This is the one I want. Miracles and blessings. Well, everything has a gift. Gemini, if it's hurting right now, I'm sorry. It will get better. It will. And this has got to be heavy for you because there's 4 majors here. Okay, and we're talking about transformation and that painful realization that everything happens for a reason, or some people say that, some people, like this says, everything has a gift. And it's true, it does. It's just that when you're hurting, it's like, I really don't want to hear that right now. I get it. But you are going to be just fine. Right now, suck, but you are going to be just fine. Okay, this is about the masks that we wear to survive, and what we going along to getting along, and then pretty soon the mask starts wearing you. You don't know where you begin and this ends, and everybody has all these different masks, right? And we start to pick some up more than others, and then pretty soon the mask is wearing us, and it's about disconnecting from that illusion and setting all the masks on the table and being like, okay, who do I want to be? I want to create my own future. I want to be who I want to be. And I want to be around people that I'm vulnerable enough to be able to pick which mask I want to wear, or, you know what I mean? Like, to be myself. I want them to know me at core, and I can be myself. So this is about, knowing yourself, to your own self. Be true, looking at what you want out of life, what your contributions are to all the crap that's happened, what you can learn from it, what you can transform, the blessings you can take from it, and go from this to come out anew. Okay? All right. So, Gemini, I hope that was helpful. It's going to be okay. I hope this was confirmation for you that you're on the right path, and you're going to be okay. This should be like right there. I'll put that there. All right, so I hope this was helpful, Gemini. If you'd like a private reading, you can email readings@soulmoontarot.com or click the link in the YouTube banner. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the next video. Okay, take care.